everyone, this is CJ Novo 982 and today we are back with another brand new video. Today's video features some breaking news regarding yet another midfield player that we are linked with, and not only linked with, we have apparently bid for. So we will be diving into that story, trying to break it down and see what the player is all about. Story number 2 will be a sort of clean up of some of the players that we've obviously missed in the last 2 or 3 videos. We'll be reacting to Herrera's another 6-month loan deal. Yeah, another one. Too sweet, too sour. And it isn't just Herrera that we'll be reacting to, so stay tuned to that later on in today's video as well. And just a friendly reminder, just in case you haven't done so already, make sure to be subscribing to the channel. We are chasing 25k down. The positive momentum has been absolutely incredible. Let's keep that up and let's absolutely destroy 25k, just like Arfield destroyed Scott Brown. You know how to get it back in. It's back. Throw the picture up one last time. That's it. I'm sorry. I've ran the meme dry. I'm done now. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Story number 1 then is all going to be about the man himself, Craig Bryson. Bryson. Now, if I'm honest with you, Craig Bryson, this name didn't surprise me because he is a very, very tidy midfield player and he has been for a very long time, especially for Derby County, putting in performances each and every single season. And if you play FIFA or anything like that, he's even had a couple of Team of the Year cards. That's how consistent the man actually can be. However, in real life, it's been sort of hit and miss the last few seasons for Derby County. Had a falling out with the previous manager, spent a wee bit of time out in loan. It didn't necessarily go too well, but under Frank Lampard, he's came back into the setup and he's putting in performances week in and week out for Derby County. The only sort of stumbling block for them is the fact that they are trying to trim their wage bill down, because their wage bill is absolutely incredible for even the Championship and all the moolah that they get for TV money. Their wage bill is far too high, and unfortunately for Craig Bryson, he's going to be one of these unfortunate casualties that they'll need to get rid of to balance the books. Now, his contract does end at the end of the season, so just like Jordan Jones and Glenn Kamara, he could potentially sign a pre-contract, but what's been listed in this transfer bid on the news websites is that it's Gary McAllister who is very, very keen on Mr. Craig Bryson. He's the one that's convinced Steven Gerrard to try and bring him in. And just in case you didn't know, Gary McAllister certainly knows what it takes to be a midfield player. I remember his goal from about 42 yards out. It was a free kick. Liverpool versus Everton, the last minute. Instead of crossing it in the box, he shoots it and he buries it in the bottom bin. So I think he knows 1 or 2 things about playing in the midfield. And if this story is true about he's identified him, then I'm going to trust the management. However, Derby County are looking to offload his wages now. They want to sell in January. So yes, we can maybe go ahead and sign him on a pre-contract, but Derby County are looking to shop him out and they're willing to do a deal in January for cheap just to get him off the wage bill. So let's look at Craig Bryson himself. That's all the news, that's all the story, that's all the article suggests about it. So let's break him down and decide if Rangers should sign him or not. Now, when we're breaking down his stats, it's important to remember he's played centre mid and centre defensive mid for Derby in his long career there. He's not really a playmaker type, so if you're coming to this video saying, is this going to be the player that we need to unlock defences? I wouldn't really say so. He's neat, he's tidy, he's got stamina for days, and he'll certainly do a job in the midfield defensively, but I don't think he's really the archetype playmaker that we are screaming out for. So let's look at his stats. He's played 20 games in the Championship so far this season. He's got 2 goals and he's got 3 assists. And as always, his overall stats for Derby County in his career, has played 266 games. He scored 41 goals and a cheeky little 39 assists in that period as well. On the international side, he's played 3 games, no goals, no assists for Scotland. That is us all done and dusted. That's Craig Bryson's player profile wrapped up in a neat little bow. So now that you know more information about the man himself, do you, the person watching this video, think that Rangers should go ahead and sign another centre midfield player? My personal opinion is we are incredibly stacked in that position. Just absolutely frightening. We've got Glenn Kamara coming in as well. This one, I just don't really get it. Yes, Craig's a very tidy player, and without 1 or 2 signings, if he hadn't signed Stephen Davis, I'd probably be a lot more keen. But I'm looking at our midfield, I'm like, he's not the thing that we need to unlock defences, in my personal opinion. So as it stands, I would say no to this one. But again, that is just my opinion. That doesn't matter. It's about your opinions. So get involved in the comment section below. Now, as always, it's my favourite thing in the entire videos is jumping over to Twitter to see your weird and wonderful tweets. Now, if I'm being 100% honest with you, I have just fired this poll up a couple of minutes ago, so there is only 231 votes, but thank you for being so active right away on Twitter. Now, I just asked the people on Twitter just the question I asked you. Do you think Rangers should sign Craig Bryson? 29% of people votes for yes, but 71% of the people votes for no. We are finally in sync. This is like the second video in a row I finally agreed with Twitter. So yes, we're doing it. Sam says, don't need him in my opinion. Roy O'Neill said, would rather sign a centre back than another centre mid. Bob Steele says, do we really need yet another centre midfield player? Liam Hamilton, however, says he's a top quality player 100%. Well, but he's not what we need. With Kamara coming in soon, we don't need another centre mid. We need an attacking midfield player, which is more likely to happen than this. Carlo Sambo says, I don't know much about him, but midfield is already strong and does it need an improvement. Tony Wilson says, I'm only saying no because I don't think he would improve our midfield at all. Gregory Hitchcliffe says, looks alright, brilliant for the Rangers now. That's why I call 55. Also good content, CJ. He looks like a good player. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate that. Sean says he's a great player, would be a welcome addition. Play Grim says, DM me and I'll tell you why this is very likely to happen. And the last 2 or 3 that we'll read out says, Adam Keane says, not sure. OJ says, underwhelming, and we have enough players in that position with better quality, in my opinion. And the last one that we'll actually read out comes from Faceless. He says, strange one. Where does he fit in? Jack, Arfield, Davis, McCrory plus Kamara to come in. Plenty of options at centre mid. We need a cam. So the people on Twitter have been absolutely ruthless with the response to Craig Bryson. They are not very keen, and they've actually agreed with me about the midfield being absolutely stacked. But again, if you have a difference of opinion, don't be scared to get involved in the comment section. That is what it's all about. Get your thoughts and opinions out there. Now we're about to jump to story number 2, and this is where it could turn pretty nasty. Story number 2 is going to be revolving Mr. Herrera, big sexy himself. Too sweet. As I said in the monologue, it's turned too sour. I genuinely mean that. When I seen this story, it felt like a real kick in the nads. Because as far as I knew and as heard that Rangers were shipping him out in a permanent, and I was going to be so excited to get his wage bill off and just be like, yeah. Unfortunately not, however, with Rangers Football Club agreeing to another 6 months loan to a different Mexican club, Herrera is off. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder how Herrera was doing. Maybe just recently joined the channel, or you've just missed my loan performance reviews where I've been speaking about all the players out on loan. We have broke down Herrera. However, I thought instead of just me reading out the same content that you've already listened to, I would actually read out the Mexican fans, supporters, what they've actually had to say about Herrera's time in Mexico when he's been out on loan from the Glasgow Rangers. The first one I'm chipping in says, fortunately for you guys, our club is an associated controlled by idiots who have no idea how to manage a team. Hence the reason they have made the ridiculous unwanted signings such as Pena and the horrendous Herrera. Have no fear, Herrera will probably be ours by the end of the season. Now that is using translate, so a couple of words might be wrong, but I think you're getting the gist. Next one we're actually going to read out says, he's a good player, almost as good as my cousin without legs. I mean, where do I go from there? Like, okay, I'll just read out one more because I think you're getting the gist. He says, he's still playing, Herrera? I thought he had already retired. And that's actually the most thumbed up one on the announcement tweet. So, yeah. Now, isn't it just the fact that we've obviously loaned him out? There's been a lot of stories and a lot of media releases saying that we are obviously paying still a percentage of his wage, and we have done for each loan that he's actually been gone. Same with Carlos Pena, and there's even a story running today in the Scottish Sport, I believe it actually is, regarding Rangers and Pena Herrera, saying that we are paying 50 grand a week for the combined wages on both of them when they've been out on loan, which obviously totals up to 200 grand a month for them not to play for us. Now again, this is unconfirmed. I've not been able to find out if that's true, but they are running the story, and if it is, good as Pedro done with Morelos and Cadeas, he has really minced us over with Herrera and Pena, because that is just absolutely sickening. So yeah, I guess story number 2 has just been all sadness, doom and gloom. Thank you for watching. If you haven't clicked off the video yet, however, what is your thoughts on the Herrera transfer? Do you think Rangers have done the right thing by loaning him out once again? I'm sure loaning him out is cheaper than it would be to pay out his contract because it has got another year to run, so I can kind of understand it that way. But what's your thoughts on Herrera? That is the question that I asked Twitter, and if I'm honest with you, I am absolutely terrified to read out these tweets, by the way. 730, I've not seen any of them so far. 60% votes for no, they are not happy with the way Rangers have handled the transfer of Herrera by loaning him out once again. Tom Arthur says, I would rather have just punted him, but if we can't get any biters, then loan him out. Ricky Forbes says, what is the option? He is totally useless, so if someone else is willing to pay his wages, then great. The player we have on loan is disgusting. Total drain of wages. I love that Gerrard is clearing the swamp. Cammy Mackay says, I'd rather he was sold, to be perfectly honest. He's not good enough to play for us, so I don't see the point in loaning him out unless there's just no team in Mexico willing to pay his wages. And I think that's a great thing. As good as it is just to say, just punt him, get someone to buy him. There is no one willing to buy him. The only way people are interested in him is if we're paying his wages to go and play for another club. That's been shown for Pena and Herrera. That is the way it's gone. We're on way too much money. We've signed them for stupid amount of money. No one is willing to match that, so we're just stuck with two massive drainage in the wage bill. Mark Mendes says, everyone's saying just get rid of him. I don't think it's easy because we will need to either pay him off or have someone bid, which clearly isn't happening. Exactly, Mark. Deacon Neil says, we'd rather get Big Sexy off the wage bill. Too sweet. Roy O'Neill says, need to sell him and Pena to anyone. That's it for story number 2. The people have had their say. Have you in the comment section? I'm looking forward to reading your weird and wonderful comments. The third and final part of today's video is just an update on some other players that has returned to the football club. They are being, obviously, Jack Anik has returned from Scunthorpe, where he played 22 games in his 5-month loan for Stuart McCall's side. Now, as far as I can see, he's actually played very well for Scunthorpe, and you look at their Twitter account, which I went through a lot of the games. It took me a long time, and people are actually pretty praising. Now, it's not as active as like a Rangers account, as you can imagine, but from the stats and everything, I can see the breakdown of the games. He's making a couple of good saves, and from the comments, the fans were actually pretty happy with him. The only thing is, Scunthorpe haven't, as it stands when I'm making this video right now today, haven't came back in for him. There's no news that they are even interested in taking him for the rest of the season. So as it stands, Jack Anik is back at Rangers. He's not in Tenerife. And what is going to be happening with Jack Anik as well? That is another player on the wage bill. However, unlike Herrera and Pena, I think he's actually a very, very good player, and I'm sure someone will come in for him. Next player we're going to be breaking down very quickly is Zach Attack himself. Zach Rudden has returned from Falkirk. Obviously, they've been struggling horrendously in the Championship, but Zach has been basically their only light so far this season, with an impressive 8 goals and 19 appearances for a team that just don't create anything and just don't seem to be able to do anything in the Championship, unfortunately for them this season. Now, the Falkirk manager has had this to say. He has been recalled, but we are speaking to Rangers to see if something can be worked out. Of course, he would be a big miss. He has done so well for us and scored 8 goals, but unfortunately, he is back in Glasgow. So that is the update regarding Zach Rudden. He is currently in Glasgow at Rangers. Falkirk are obviously interested in bringing him back. Let's see what happens to Zach. The last player that we'll be discussing is Jamie Barjonas. Now, I did briefly mention this before, so I'll mention it again just so you know, because I've seen it in yesterday's comment section, what's happening with Jamie Barjonas. He obviously didn't work out at Bury. He came back up. He didn't play many games. There was a lot of high hopes for his loan down at Bury. It sort of fell through. Couldn't get in the first team. He's back at Rangers Football Club, and as it stands just now, he's just back with the youth team. There's no any links with elsewhere. And if I'm honest with you, he's in exactly the same place as Zach Rudden. It's going to be very interesting to see where the new youth manager actually sends the young laddie off. So stay tuned to that. I will keep you updated as soon as I know any more. But that's it. That's today's video all done and dusted. Hopefully you did enjoy it enough to smash a like button on it. That'd be greatly appreciated. I've been SiegeOver92. If you would like to support the channel directly, the link for that will be in the description below to the Patreon account. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.